Hey everybody, welcome back to Generation X Nation. I am Generation X. Okay. First things first, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed, listened to my channel, shared, or left a comment. I promise I'll always get back to you. Thank you for keeping me afloat. Again, I don't ask for anything. I just ask for you to subscribe and at least listen to the channel, leave a comment, and share. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, or something. All right. Second, everything on my channel is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. I'm not going to really cover, I know I'm going to have Diddy talk a little about Diddy and Cassie, but not too in depth because I know everybody is saturating all the news feeds from YouTube to the national news and local news about this case. I don't want to harp on it. But what I did notice in this case is the prosecutors are painting Diddy as this evil, sinister, diabolical, controlling, crazy, lunatic boyfriend who took complete advantage of Cassie. Um, and the defense is painting Cassie as a willing participant who coordinated a lot of these freak offs and seemed to have enjoyed them and was doing what she wanted to do to please her man and further her career. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this turns out. I ain't getting into details about who did what and who called all that stuff because I know y'all done heard it all, and to me, a lot of it is really disgusting. But who am I to judge what other people do in their bedroom? Ain't got nothing to do with me. I hope the truth does come out, and if Diddy has allegedly did all these horrible things to this lady, then I hope justice is served. And if they find out that he didn't do it or she was a willing participant. I hope justice is served that way. Either way, the truth is going to come out one way or another. So the biggest part I see that's going to be interesting is who going to be these witnesses. Who do we know in the alleged elite Hollywood community that may get caught up in this? That's what I'm looking to see. We know that Diddy did these things, certain things to Cassie because there's a videotape out of him not, beating her in the hotel room. So we know that he's capable of possibly doing a lot of this stuff. So I'm not going to accuse him of doing it. I'm just going to say we know that he's capable of doing a lot of the stuff that they're saying that happened in this courtroom. Um, Outside of that, we just need to do better with keeping our young women and young men informed of predators and stuff like that because I think they're painting Diddy as a predator who groomed a young girl and was able to control her somewhat, her mind, because she was such a a young girl, and she probably was excited to meeting Diddy. I mean, back then everybody wanted to meet Diddy, and he was a music mogul, and I know he can take my career to the next level. I get all that. And I think it's a question of how far are you willing to go for success? We hear a lot of people talk about Illuminati's and sleeping your way to the top. And this is a perfect case of how far are you willing to go for success? And again, she did say allegedly that Diddy had her followed all the time. She didn't have a moment to herself. There may be a point in there where she wanted to leave and just couldn't. People ask where was her parents at. Apparently, they are in the courtroom now. Was she able to contact them during this process? I don't know. But what I do know is her mother's in the courtroom, her son, her brother's in the courtroom, according to all the news outlets. Diddy's children are in the courtroom, and her husband's there. And just to hear all that in front of the people that you love, and she's pregnant, from what the pictures are showing, and just to hear some of these disgusting things that you went through or tolerated or willingly participated in front of your family members, God, that got to be punishment enough for her and him, but punishment enough for her for sure if she's the victim. And I'm not saying she's not a victim of certain domestic violence for sure from Diddy, but again, I'm not calling anybody innocent or guilty because I am not the judge. But if this is allegedly true, Diddy is one nasty, evil, sinister individual. And if it's not, I apologize for saying that ahead of time. Now, the reason I bring this up is it has been really telling to me that in the last 90 days, we have had, of course, Diddy's trial been going on a little longer, but in the last 90 days, Diddy's been on the forefront. Shannon Sharp has been on the forefront. And I guarantee you, Shannon Sharp is like, ooh, thank God this trial started because it got my name off the headlines because they was on Shannon for a while. He lost endorsements, everything. So Shannon is kind of laying low, being quiet. And I hope he don't mention anything about this trial because this is taking a lot of heat off of him and Smokey Robinson. Because Smokey Robinson was also accused lately in the last month or so of, I guess, a SA in at least 2 to 3 women, and one lady was apparently his housekeeper that he had allegedly had an incident with over 20 times. So it led me to thinking, one, why would you go back if you left the house every night and you kept coming back? I don't know how much Smokey was paying you. I don't know if he was threatening you. But I don't know if I would come back for the 15th time or the 13th time or the 12th time. I think that first time he done that, I can understand. Maybe you said, maybe in your mind he was drunk, he know what he was doing. But about the 10th time or so, why'd you keep coming back? And I'm not victim blaming. I'm not victim blaming anybody. I just try to figure out where the mindset at. And it never happened to me in that extent. So I really don't know the mindset there. But what I do know is men in the last 30 days, we've had 3 African American men of color, who have been allegedly doing these things to women, and preferably younger women or women in positions that they had power over. And I'm trying to figure out, why is this going on? And then on the flip side, we have a lot of young African American females that are out here just doing the most. And I'm just feel like it's time to have just a talk, some type of conversation of what is going on in our community, that all of a sudden our men are falling one by one to these type of allegations. And then our women, every time I cut on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, X, or whatever you want to call it, and I'm not a big poster. I started doing YouTubes and social media just to, give me something to do during the day, when I don't have other things going on. And, I do have a lot of free time. I am a retired person, so I have a lot of free time. I don't plan on going to work for nobody else if I don't have to, because God knows people in the White House may have to send me back out there. But for right now, I'm fine. And I just, I started paying attention a little bit more to social media. I don't live and breathe it because I was here before social media, so I know it's not the end all, the be all of the world. But I see a lot of videos of young African American females fighting. And then I see a lot of older black men getting caught up in these SA assaults. And then my younger black men, 17 to 25, are killing each other left and right. And I'm just saying, as a community in itself, and I love my people, and that don't mean I don't like other people. I don't care where you come from, race, creed, whatever. As long as you respect me, I respect you. Treat me right, I treat you right. I love anybody, okay? But I'm particularly concerned about my community because this is my community. This is who I grew up in. This is who I am. And when I go out, that's who they see. When they see me, they see the girls fighting. They see the young boys getting shot. They see that. They don't know anything about my background or what I've done. That's what they see. And that's why a lot of middle-aged and older African Americans get caught up, stereotyped when we go to the store, get pulled by the police and questioned, because the images that are put out there on us are so negative that they put us all in the same spectrum. And we're not that. We all come from different backgrounds, different walks of life. I personally have never been to a jail. I've never done drugs, to be honest with you. But I can go outside and somebody who don't know anything about me will assume I'm a crackhead and a thief if I walk in a store, because I'm not suited and booted in Gucci. I may just have on my sweatpants and tennis shoes. So we live with that every day. Every day. So the images that I'm seeing is not helping the cause. You have people in the background like myself who are fighting for us every day. And this is what we're giving back. You had a whole group of African American men, the Puffies, Diddies, Shannon Sharps, Smokey Robinson, or who are sitting in this area over here being charged with all of these horrific crimes against women. And majority of the people suspects are not women of color. They are women of other ethnicities. That's kind of odd. I noticed that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that other cultures don't do it. I know about Harvey Weinstein. I know about Kevin Spacey, the R. Kellys of the world, the T.J. Holmes, and all. I get it. There are other people out there doing it. I'm just saying in the last 3 or 4 months, we have been the face of that. And it's just not looking good. Then you have these young boys who are 17 to 25. Every time you turn on your TV in any city in America that has a larger population of minorities, there is a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, 20-year-old who's been shot, going to jail for shooting or robbing somebody. They are giving up their lives for silly stuff. Silly stuff. When we were 17, we had a job. My community, we have to do better. I don't know where the disconnect at, but we got to fix it. And God forbid, me being a female, when I see young girls out here twerking in Lululemon, twerking in the middle of the street, and then your friends run you over in the car, no disrespect to any of these families, twerking in a restaurant, twerking it. I get it. The generation is different. We live on social media. If you in Walmart, you doing the latest TikTok dance, you videotaping yourself, I may let that slide. That's just something they do. They're having fun. But I don't need you in Walmart shaking your ass all over the place while people are trying to shop. Okay? I don't need you in the middle of the mall doing that. Because you don't just make it bad for yourself. You make it bad for the rest of us. Especially the ones who are on the front line fighting for you. Especially for the ones who already died for you. You are standing on their shoulders, and that ain't what they wanted for you. That's not what they wanted. And I get, ain't nothing wrong with twerking. We can twerk in an appropriate place. I ain't saying don't twerk. I'm saying twerk at an appropriate place. If you at a party, you at a club, do it there. If there's music, drinks flowing, you're having fun, do it there. But you don't need to be twerking in Walgreens. You don't need to be twerking down there at the local mall or the restaurants. No. Y'all, this generation doesn't understand there's a time and a place for a lot of stuff. And y'all always have the wrong time, wrong place. Riding down the street with your behinds out of the car window twerking. Stop doing that. It feeds into the stereotype. You're not helping. You're hurting more than you think. And I can hear a million of y'all out there right now. I can twerk where I want to twerk. Do what I want to do. You are absolutely right. This is America. This is a free country. Do what you want to do. But always remember, just like people say, I can say the N-word, you can't. But always remember the consequences of your actions. That don't exclude you from having consequences for doing it. That lady who sat on that plane and twerked in the middle of that aisle as a flight attendant, again, she had a right to do that. But it doesn't mean that her job has to keep her. If they don't think it's appropriate, they had to let her go. Did I think she should have been fired? Maybe written up, but you can't tell them people what to do. And so until you own your own, until you have your $1,000,000, whatever, and got your big mansion and don't need nobody or need to work for somebody, you're going to have to answer to somebody at some point. And that somebody you're going to answer to is going to see all that mess you're putting out there. Because at some point in your life, you're going to grow up. But all that old stuff is going to come back to resurface. Why do you think they didn't want that Freaknik video? And I was around doing the heat of Freaknik. Why do you think they didn't want that video, that documentary they were doing on Freaknik? Because everybody was so scared their picture was going to be on there somewhere, some hidden footage somebody had of them. Because they were acting inappropriately. And it was okay because they was in college having fun. But they realize now that they're the head of the PTA. They realize now I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a judge. That can't come out. It's going to look bad. I'm running for public office. That catches up with you. I'm not saying we didn't have fun. I'm not saying don't have your fun. But y'all fun today was a little bit different than our fun was yesterday. Okay? Well, not yesterday. Back in the past. It's totally different. My generation is a lot to blame for it because we didn't see or project what was coming later on when we thought it was freedom of speech, when rappers came out with the what they used to call it, explicit rap, and we fought for it, and we was like, hey, it's freedom of speech. Luke can say what he want to say. Me so horny, whatever. We can say what we want to say. You know, saying the N word, the B word. You know, I remember Tupac and them was fighting with that lady Miss Tucker when she wanted to have that type of music banned and everything. It's freedom of speech. They took it to the Supreme Court, and the freedom of speech won, and they got to say whatever they want to say. So they start saying the N word and start saying the P word and start saying the B word and doing all that stuff. And we didn't know back then, in the 90s, that it would end up the way it is today. Porn behind some music beats. That's all it is. It's porn. People aren't rapping. They're just giving you porn. They're talking about porn on music beats. Because when we used to rap, which is rhythm and poetry, rapping, there's no poetry in nothing they're saying. Okay? I'm not saying that Ice Cube and the rest of them, when they was using the N-word, whatever, but they was telling us a story. They was telling us a story about the streets, about the hood, what happens here. What y'all are doing now in the rap music is just telling us what's going on in your bedrooms. That's it. You're teaching everybody how to be hypersexual. I don't hear you talking about no social issues. Public Enemy gave you social justice all day. Ice Cube NWA gave us social justice all day. And yeah, they had a few things in there about partying, let's go. They talked about smoking a little weed and getting with some honeys. But yes, you know, but what y'all talk about every song, I can already tell you what they're going to do. It's going to be something sexual. Lick this, suck that, flip this, eat a booty crap, whatever. I don't know. But that's what y'all do. That's all you hear in those songs. Shake it. Then you talk about who broke and who got money. Who cares? Who cares? But this is where we're at. We're seeing a lot of older black men getting taken down by these allegations. And I'm going to call them allegations because, you know, they need their day in court. And not just them. You had the Bill Cosby's. You had the R. Kelly's. Like I said before. It's a lot more than. So I'm like, well, what is going on with black men? Are you... Maybe y'all are hypersexual. I don't know. But that is really odd to me. Then you have this other group of black men, the 17 to 25-year-olds, who they have now labeled the YNs, out of control. They have no boundaries. They have no respect. They don't have no type of codes of conduct they live by. They will kill a 2-year-old, a 6-month-old, or a 99-year-old. They don't care. They will cuss you out. They don't respect their elders. We weren't perfect, but Miss Williams was Miss Williams. Miss Johnson was Miss Johnson. We called nobody by their first name. And if that lady was a senior or elder, we respected that lady. We didn't cuss around her. We didn't drink around her. We didn't smoke around her. None of that. I could be standing on the curb and y'all light up a blunt and start smoking. We would never do that in my day. Y'all have lost this basic manners and respect for the people who fought for you to be here. And I know y'all be like, oh, old dude, whatever. You don't know what that old dude did for you to be able to stand there and call him an old dude. Okay? I hear people talk about Martin Luther King sometimes. No disrespect to the King family, and I'm saying this allegedly. But people say, oh, Martin Luther King, he messed with women and he did this and that. But Martin Luther King also took a bullet to his head for some sanitation workers that he didn't even know in Tennessee. See, y'all don't think about that. None of y'all would do that. And you guys are thinking it's cool to leave this earth between 17 and 25. That's not cool. The goal is for you to live to be old. Period. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And young ladies, at some point you're sitting there saying, I don't want no broke man. Man gotta have 6 figures. He gotta do this and that. Gotta be 6'2", brown and handsome. Everybody want a 6'2" man with 6 figures that's brown skinned and handsome. That ain't gonna always happen. And if you sit in an apartment riding your Nissan Altima talking about you need a 6-figure guy, you need to get a reality check. Because if you're looking for a guy with 6 figures and you 24, 25, the men you're in your age group ain't there yet. They broke just like you. Y'all started on the same platform. He's finishing up college like you, probably got student loans, or if he didn't go to college, probably got the same job you got. Unless he hit the lottery or come from a rich family, he just as broke as you are at 25. If you want a 6-figure man, you got to move up to 40. And then you put yourself in positions like a person like Cassie. that you got to go to an older guy to get what you want. But that older guy has life experiences. Probably have been married, maybe not. Probably got some kids, been in serious relationships. And there are certain things he's going to tolerate and not tolerate. And in order for you to live in his world, there's a way he wants you to be and behave. That means he's going to tell you how to dress, how to act, how to eat. He don't care that you're 25 and trying to live life unless he's immature or a street dude. You're going to behave the way he wants you to behave. So there's a cost for being the boss. Okay? So find a guy maybe in your age group and y'all build y'all wealth together. That's how we did it back then. Now y'all just want instant gratification. But life doesn't work like that all the time. I put this video out just to say this. We got to do better in our community. I don't want to see no more Cassie and Diddy cases. I don't want to see no more men like Shannon Sharp and Smokey Robinson being charged with it. We got to stop this. And these are older guys. And for anybody, any man that's sitting here listening to the video talking about, well, they was over, they was age, they was 18, they was 19, they was legal. Okay, keep that in mind when that 55-year-old man knock on your door and ask you, can he take out your 19-year-old daughter? Keep that in mind when that guy that looks like Diddy asks you, hey, your daughter's going to come stay with me. I'm going to help her with her music career like the R. Kellys. Everything Cassie's saying in that courtroom, put that in your thought. Put that in your brain. And think about your daughter being treated like that because she wanted to go be a singer or a dancer and date a producer that was 30, 25 years older than her. Imagine somebody doing that to your daughter. Doesn't matter if she's 17, 18, or 19. Mentally, she's still a child. Period. And young black girls, I don't know why y'all so angry. And I fight this theory all the time, the stereotype angry black women. Because I'm not angry. I ain't got nothing to be angry about. Every day you get up, you should be happy. I don't know why y'all are here fighting each other, but you got to stop. And these people who got making millions and millions of dollars of you young black girls fighting on TV every day, punching and beating each other up, and they getting rich off of that. Stop. They making money off of your pain. Stop doing it. Don't even audition. The fact that they will go to a city and audition people for baddies, and we all know all they doing baddies is fight, and the lines around the corner tells me people just want to be famous that bad. That they don't want to work for it. They just want instant fame. That fame only going to last so long. That money will run out. At some point, you're going to be 30 or 40 years old. Are you still going to be on Bad Girls Club beating up somebody? Take the money you make and go build something with yourself. I don't care if you open up a business, go back to college, get a degree, do something. But that's not going to, if you're 21 years old beating each other up on Bad Girls Club, what are you going to be doing at 40 or 45? Because eventually we're going to get tired of that. Whew, this is a hard conversation. I just want my community to do better. I'm tired of seeing these trials. I'm tired of seeing these accusations. I'm tired of young black women on the internet twerking and beating each other up. I'm tired of turning on the news and seeing young black men killing each other. And the funny thing is, the black women that y'all hate, they got the attitudes, and we don't date black women, got attitudes, I don't like whatever. I don't see very much of them. I don't see very much of the 45, 50-year-old women who are established behaving like this. Now, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I don't see as many videos of them as I do of you guys. And this is really for my community. Just do better. And with that, this is Generation X Nation. I'm out. I want y'all to go have a great rest of your day. Like, subscribe, share my channel. I hated that this video had to go there, but it's something that just needed to be said. Guys, have a great day. Peace.